we've got our new motor. Looks so good. This is gonna be the hard part. You guys like being back in the dinghy again?
Hi, I'm Natalie and this is James, and welcome aboard our floating home Zephyr. Over the past 5 years, we've been on an incredible journey sailing around the world, accompanied by our two trusty dog crew members, Flint and Kira. Join us every Friday for a new video documenting our adventures. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the journey.
Well, good morning everybody. Today is going to be epic because we have a huge surprise today. We are getting our new dinghy motor delivered. It should be here in like an hour. This is a huge day. I'm so freaking excited. We haven't had a new dinghy motor now since we bought the boat. We bought our first brand new dinghy motor when we started this whole adventure. So that was 6 years ago. So super excited, cannot wait. I'm eating my cereal here super fast. So I want to get it all done. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy day. They're gonna deliver it and then we're gonna commission it. We're gonna take you guys through that process. Should be pretty exciting. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna smash my breakfast here. Gonna take the dogs for a walk. Hopefully get that done before they arrive. And then yeah, woo, our new dinghy motor. A little bit of damage there.
Check that out.
Yeah.
I don't think anything wrong with it.
I hope not.
Nah.
I hope it's just the foam, I think.
Just the foam.
Yeah.
They got it foam pretty good.
Yeah. You can see we've got our new motor. That is the big surprise, and I'm sure you guessed it's a Yamaha, but you don't know what size it is. You don't know if it's 4-stroke, 2-stroke, and we're gonna go through all of that. But the first thing I need to do is get this massive box that weighs a ton over to our spot on the dock. I'm gonna go see if one of my mates on another boat can help me pick it up. It's not too heavy. But yeah, unfortunately the forklift driver couldn't get it up the curb here, so. All right, well, we got the motor here back at the boat. It wasn't too bad. Some friends of ours on another boat here helped me carry it. We're going to open it right up and let's see what we got. Well, here we go, guys. On first inspection, I gotta say, it looks so good. I'm glad we went with this size because it's massive. I didn't realize it was this big. Well, I did, but this is amazing. So, what have we got? Well, let's fill you in. Obviously, this is a Yamaha 4-stroke, but we have decided to go with a 15 horsepower. We were looking at the 20 and the 25s, we mentioned this before, but we are going with a 15. This motor weighs 111 pounds. It's got a displacement of 363, and it should carry us and the dogs no problem. We are pretty darn excited. We chose to move to the 4-stroke because we wanted something that's more fuel efficient. The 2-strokes really chew up the fuel. And we just want to try something different, a little quieter. This motor is meant to have a lot of power down low, which is great. We need to go through the commissioning process. Now, I'm not sure what they've done to this. I don't know if there's any gear oil in it, if there's any actual oil or coolant or what. So we're gonna have to get this thing up on the rack and have a look and see what we need to do. But first inspection, it looks like it survived the shipping pretty good. There was a little bit of damage to the corner of the box, as you saw, but everything looks great. They packaged it really well. I'm really, really, really happy. Whew. All right, we're gonna get this thing out and up on the rack. So much heavier than my last one.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well you can see I really struggled to get this up on the rack. It's considerably heavier than our previous motor. Our 9.8 Nissan, which is essentially a Tohatsu, was a 2-stroke, and it only weighed, I think top 60 pounds. Like it was really light. Like I could just pick that up willy-nilly, as Nat would say. But this one weighs 111 pounds. So it is almost twice the weight, and I definitely felt it there. Obviously the tender was in the way a little bit. But yeah, she is heavy. And it's interesting because we were considering the 20 horsepower electric start, which would have been about 132 pounds. So I am really, really glad I didn't do that. I think that would have been too much to lift up onto the rack here. It definitely wouldn't be. I would say we're at the limit of this rack without putting any additional supports in. But all that weight aside, it looks so nice. It's beautiful. Everything, it looks incredible. I'm really excited to go through this. All right, let's see what else is in the box. So we got, they gave us a fuel line. So I wasn't sure whether the fuel line was going to be included. It is, and I've just checked the length, and it's perfect because we're going to move the fuel tank into the bow locker, and it's long enough to run the whole length of the tender. Obviously we got a kill cord and manual. That's it. There's not much else in there. So we do need to buy a new fuel tank. We're gonna get a slightly bigger one than we had with our last motor. We're gonna get a 6-gallon one. We had a 3-gallon one before. I think that's the only thing we need to buy. I think I have gear oil and engine oil, but we'll double check. All right, well, good morning, guys. It is the next day, and unfortunately, we couldn't do our commissioning yesterday because we got some bad weather that came in. The wind got up, we got rain. It just was not ideal, especially when this motor is just looking too pretty, too nice, and I want to do it proper, take the time, get everything done. So, but it did give me an opportunity to go to the store yesterday and get a few other things we needed for this commissioning process. So what's that going to involve? Well, we need to add oil to this engine. It gets shipped without oil. It has gear oil in it, but we need to put the engine oil in. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is put engine oil in. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to check through underneath the cowling here, make sure that there's nothing that's come off, no loose connections, everything looks okay. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to put our attachment on the new fuel tank we bought, because Yamaha uses a very specific connection. Then we're going to fill our fuel tank with fuel, and I think we should be then ready to go. We're gonna start it up just on the stand, I think, or we're gonna put it in the water. No, I think we're gonna put it on the dinghy and put it in the water. This motor is quite a bit heavier, and this railing that holds the tender motor, it's holding it, but I don't really want to be yanking on the pull cord while it's sitting on here. So once we get everything ready on the motor, we're going to drop the tender, we'll put it on the tender and get it all set up. So I think that's the plan. Let me show you the things that I bought. So based on where we're going to be, which is the tropics most of the time coming up, we are going with the recommended 10 weight 40 for the engine oil. This is that little attachment I had to buy because Yamaha uses these very sort of specific attachments. And then this is the new fuel tank we're going with. So we've gone with 6 gallons, as I said. We used to have a 3 gallon, so this is going to be nice. It's going to be bigger. Now, once we have everything good to go as far as all the fluids, all the checks, everything set up, there's a very specific break-in process for the engine. What do I mean by break-in process? Well, with a brand new motor, there's some limitations on how you're going to run the engine for the first, I guess you say, few hours. So what Yamaha recommends here with this engine, so for the first hour of operation, we're not to exceed 2,000 RPMs, or essentially half throttle for that first hour. So for the remaining sort of 8 to 9 hours, it recommends you can run the engine at any speed, but try to avoid full throttle for more than about 5 minutes. And then obviously after the 10 hours, you can run normally. Okay, so we're gonna get the engine cowling off here and let's start our initial inspection. All right, so as we can see, this is where the oil fill is. We have a dipstick here so we can check our oil level. Take this off, it says to remove it, obviously. We've removed that plastic bag. Everything looks okay. Here's the carburetor, throttle cables, fuel filter. We got spark plug 1, spark plug 2. Got some electrical cables. Everything looks okay. All the connections seem to be okay. That's our flywheel there. Looks really good. And then of course we have our propeller. Got the split pin in. Everything looks good. The intake. All right, so next step, we are going to fill this engine with some oil. Let's give this a crack. Okay, so we're gonna add our 2nd liter, but we're only gonna add about half. So here we go. So we put half of this one in, so that's 1.5 liters. So we'll check our level, see where we're at now, and if we have to add more, we'll just add a little bit at a time. Okay, so we clean it off first when we pull it out, and then we'll put it back in. And then we'll pull it back out. And we're full right to the line. Just before the line. That's absolutely perfect. That's where we're gonna leave it. Perfect. So we'll put the cap back on. Okay. Make sure we don't cross thread it. There we go. So that's it. We put 1.5 liters of 10 weight 40 oil in there. So we're good there. I gotta say, I'm really happy with how it is. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our connection on the fuel tank. All right, let's get our engine cowling back on first. Okay. That goes like that. And then this thing just goes like that. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, there you go. We've got that on. So let's go get some petrol. So the great thing about this particular marina we're at, the Galley Stores in Newburgh, is they have a petrol station. Not the fuel dock, but they actually have a petrol station at the marina that normal people with cars can use, which is fantastic. So yeah, let's go over there. There's the Mobile looking good. Looks like it's a BP station, so pretty easy. Let's see, I think we're gonna get, oh, should we go the middle fuel? The 87, the 89. Let's go the middle one for our first run. I'm only gonna put in half the fuel. So she takes 6 gallons. I'm just gonna put 3 for this first test. See how we go. All right, I think I gotta go inside and pay first. All right, paid inside. Let's get this thing pumping. I got a middle one. So I've gone with $10, which is gonna work out to about 3 gallons, which is kind of what I wanted to do. So that was a pretty good guess. There we go. Make sure our breather valve is closed. Okay. All right, well, as you can see, we got the tender down. We've never put it down before while the platform's been down at the same time, so it wasn't too bad though, because there's no motor on it. It's super light, just pushed out of the way. So the great thing about this tender is they've run a guideline here that runs all the way through, so you can attach your fuel line and pull it all the way through. But yeah, let's do that first. Let's run our fuel line, then we'll put the fuel in, then we'll get the motor on the back. So something that's super important when you're doing your fuel line is it's actually directional in terms of this. This is your squeeze ball to get fuel moving through the line, and you'll see, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, there's actually an arrow on it pointing in the direction. So it's pointing this way. So this end will be the end that goes to the motor, and this is the end that goes to the fuel tank. All right, well, there you go. We've got it coming through the hole, and so I can connect the top of the fuel tank here. And we got our piece here for the motor. So this is gonna be the hard part. Gotta get that motor onto there. With our last motor, no problem. I'll pick it up with one hand, stand over top, put it on. But as you saw earlier, I struggled massively. This thing weighs twice as much. Well, almost twice as much. So actually, you know what? I think twice as much. I think it was 56 pounds. This one weighs 111. So 1 pound short. Oh, doggy. Okay, well, can stand around and stare all I like. I'm just gonna have to give it a go. All right, well, that was an absolute struggle and something I'm never going to do like that again. So we have a strap that you can put around the motor to, you know, if you want to put it on our davits here to lift the dinghy motor with the davits, which would be really, really easy. So I think if we ever do take this motor off, I will use that, because as you saw, well, I did fall over in the dinghy with it. Luckily, I just kind of went slowly. And, oh my God, didn't damage anything, so that's all that matters. Let's connect our fuel line. So that's it, we are set up. The motor looks good. It's definitely bigger and heavier than our last one. I am expecting good things performance-wise. So, I think first things first, let's prime it with some fuel and let's get it started. So when we do this, we want to do it until this bulb we're squeezing goes hard. There you go. We're just going to check to make sure we don't have any fuel leaks. So we'll check here, because now it's under pressure. I don't see any dripping. This connection seems to be pretty good. Sure, there's no dripping. That's our fuel pump. And looks pretty good. I don't see any fuel. I think we can start it up. We'll start it up actually with the cowling off. Well, there you go. Finally got it started. The fuel finally got through. Let's see here. It's so quiet. The cowling's off and it's still so freaking quiet. This is amazing. We had a little smoke at the beginning, to be expected, brand new. So, you know, there's a little bit of oil on everything, blew it out. Well, I think the only thing now to do is go for a test run. And we'll just do a quick little run around the marina here, just light run, get the gears moving. And then we'll come back and then we'll put the dogs in and we'll go a little bit quicker. So let's do that first. All right, here we go. Oh, it's so nice having that lever right there. It's got that classic Yamaha kind of rumble to it. It's interesting, even just at this little bit right here, just giving that tiny little right there, you can feel, just even in that little bit, that torque that you get from down low from these Yamaha motors. Whereas with the two-stroke, we had all our power more in the top end. Down low, we had very little power. All right, let's get it up to about, I don't know, let's go a little faster. Here we go. The throttle response is fantastic. Just a heads up, this is not a promotion with Yamaha. They did not give us a deal. They have no idea we even bought this motor. We bought this motor out of our own money, and we chose this motor, as you guys have seen, for a number of reasons. So this is, I wish Yamaha would give us a motor or pay us for this promotion, but yeah, this is not a Yamaha promotion, just so you know. Torque. It's so good. All right, let's go get the pups and get a little bit more weight. All right, we got the dogs in. So let's go for a run. Oh, it starts so easy. All right, so I'll go for a little test here. We've got 160 pounds of dogs on the back. I've given it hardly any throttle and we're going very easily here. This is fantastic. All right, I know the rules say first hour, whatever, I don't care. I'm dying to see. So with our last motor, with the dogs, 10 horsepower, 2-stroke, it would take a while, but we could get up onto a plane. And if we had that, nope, never happened. Well, that's a lie. I think one time we had current and we got up. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna give it a cheeky. I'm only gonna go half throttle. I wanna see if we can get up onto a plane with the dogs, and if we can, how quickly we do. So here we go. Onto a plane, that's it. And I'm half throttle. And I actually have to let off because we're planing even quicker now. Good, down, down. All right, I don't want to push it. It's the first hour. So that just proves to me that Nat and I get in this boat and the dogs, I have no doubt we should plane so easy. Everything's running great. I think what we'll do is we'll get the dinghy back to the boat, get the dogs off, and we'll just double check the motor, make sure we don't have any leaks or anything like that. Let's go. You guys like being back in the dinghy again? Yeah, you love it? Out, down, here, down. Come on, good girl. Good girl. We remember. All right, let's pull the cowling off and have a look, see if there's any issues, any leaks, anything rattled loose. I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be anything, but let's check anyways. Even smells like a new engine. You know when you get a new car and you get inside a car and you got that new car smell? That smells like a new engine. No fuel leaks. Everything looks good. All right, we're gonna put it up on the davits now and put it away. All right, the dinghy is up on the davits as you saw, no problem. We don't carry it at an angle like this normally. This is just while we have it in the marina, so when it rains, the water goes in and out the back. Look at that motor. Looks so good. So a really important thing here is this piece here. I can't remember what the name of this is. Is it the trim tab or the diffuser? I can't remember what this is called, but essentially this plate here needs to either be level with the lowest part of the transom at the back or something like an inch below. And ours looks like it sits about 3/4 of an inch below, which is perfect, absolutely perfect. So the height is absolutely ideal for this tender, which is excellent. I'm just so happy, just so happy. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. There you go, our brand new Yamaha 15 horsepower 4-stroke. Looks fantastic. It's gonna go great on our high field here. And that's it. If you wanna know more information about this motor, you can leave a comment below and we'll do our best to get back to you. And yeah, we'll see you out there in the water. If you'd like to be a part of the journey and become a patron, go to the link you see here on the screen. Another way you can support us is by hitting that subscribe button.